Back in the studio, WTBQ and WGHT. You're listening to Horse Sense. I'm your host, Christine Rolando. If you just tuned in with Kristen Sclafani, and we have Theresa Mueller from West Milford. Are you actually in Hewitt or West Milford? I heard you say Hewitt earlier.
Yeah, I am in Hewitt.
Okay, so right down there by West Milford. So we don't have a whole lot of time, but I just want to kind of recap. Share with our listeners before we have to let you go what they can do. How do they get in touch with you, and what should they look for?
That's a really great question. If your horse, the first thing, you can reach me by going to healequine.com. You can, text me on my cell phone. It's 201-874-0914.
0914.
Right.
That's 201-874-0914. That's your cell phone.
Right. And the first thing I would tell people to do is really get yourself educated just on the basics of what, chronic progressive lymphedema is. That's the first thing, because when you're educated, you can make an informed decision from there. The things that you're going to look for, if your horse has intermittent swelling, like one day it swells up and then it goes down, it's a red flag. Huge red flag, because what they're telling us, what that horse is telling you, he's got a congested lymphatic system that's not working properly. That's the red flag. If your horses have a swollen sheath, that's another indication. When they were gelded over time, scar tissue builds up and it blocks the lymphatic flow. The other thing is, be very, I know this was very interesting when I was in Germany. They wanted to know, why do Americans always inject the hocks? And they're always injecting. Every time that you inject, you're breaking the skin, because the lymphatic system is so superficial, you are building scar tissue up. Mm-hmm. And that scar tissue will block the lymph flow.
I had a chiropractor tell me this like 30 years ago down in New Jersey. He did. And people thought he was nuts, but it had to be 30, 35 years ago. But you're absolutely right.
Right. So, so be leery of, you need to find other alternatives for, having arthritis, or, having in other words, not using, the steroids to control, the discomfort. There's other things that you can do to do that, A, they're far more cost effective, and B, they don't cause any damage.
The healing touch.
Absolutely.
The healing touch. It's amazing what it can do.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. So look for that intermittent swelling, because that's a red flag to you. That's definitely going to be it. Be leery. Be very cautious this summer, because I think we're going to have a hot, dry summer that's coming up. Because of the climate change and what we're experiencing. So I would imagine that, and remember this, any vector or insect, fly or mosquito, can transmit a disease. And let me tell you, all it takes is one bite of what they're passing through, and it will cause cellulitis.
And that
cellulitis is a big issue, very big. And you have to remember, you don't know where that fly or that mosquito's been.
Yeah, just like this thing we're living in today. But Theresa, I'm going to have to let you go because we're running out of time, but I'd love to have you back on again. Listen, God bless you. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And our listeners, we're going to post it on Facebook so they can get in touch with you. And you got to go down to Morristown to do your other duty, Atlantic Health, today.
Yes.
So thank you for your service, and we're going to be in touch shortly, okay?
Sounds wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Amazing woman.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I met her a long, long time ago when she was starting in her research of this. And actually, Phil, do you know Phil from the printer? From the local Warwick printer.
Yes.
Phil actually connected me with her.
Wow.
And said you have to reach out and get in touch with her so she can be a guest on your show because she's doing some really good work and saving horses and people. And what do you have going on? You have some things, so many cancellations.
I know.
Wine and Equine got canceled.
Yep.
Dairy Day got canceled. We do with Cornell Cooperative. We do that big event coming up March 25th. Chefs do dinner. I had to reschedule.
I know. All this work, but I just keep thinking, this too shall pass. So eventually we'll be able to resuscitate all of these things. And
that's been my little
back on our event
signature
program
at the bottom too. When I sign off to people, this too shall pass. Keep positive. Yep. Come on, we're all self-isolating and we're socially isolating. Yeah. But it's important. It's a beautiful sunny day. Get out and do a walk.
We need to get outside. I actually, I don't usually have time for a lot of spring cleaning, but let me tell you, there are no fingerprints on any of the switch plates in my house right now. Everything's clean.
What are you going to do when
when we're done with this,
cleaning,
it'll be dirty. Yeah.
Well, what you can do is you can declutter. That's what you can do. If you're home, just pick one. Don't be so overwhelmed. It's all a mindset. You got to stay positive. We all have to be positive. We had Theresa Mueller on, and it was the power of, the touch, the power of healing, the power of the mind. And did you know that Brain Power, March is Brain Injury Awareness Month. So check out BIANYS. That's Brain Injury Awareness. That's New York State, the Brain Injury Association of New York State. I get their newsletter, love it, and they have a lot of things in there that's all on brain awareness this particular month. And, your brain is so critical to feed it positive thoughts.
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
Not the negative. Let's all try to stay positive. Shoot me an email if you want to be on the show. You have a good idea for a guest. It's horses@warwick.net, horses@warwick.net. And you want to stay tuned because after this show, we, of course, have the $1 Million Feeling with Brian Baird at 9 a.m. And that's discover how the essentials of life and spirit, mind and body foster fulfillment and happiness, love, health, and beyond. Did you come up with that?
No, that's his. That's his website. I know.
Kristen's so good.
Talks about what he does.
If you need somebody to take notes or organize things, call Kristen because she is amazing. You really are.
Well, I don't know how I was able to organize my thoughts except that I borrowed that from Brian.
Oh,
but
good job, Brian. I love Brian's show. I love he uses the term leaning in. Mm-hmm. That's like a term he always uses. You're leaning in.
Yeah, we need to lean in right now to
everyone
all
needs
of this.
to lean in. Get on your knees and pray for this thing to go away. All right? So we're going to get rid of that. And you have the Tom Lovelace Music Experience at 10 with Tom Lovelace, introducing local musicians, venues, new artists, songs, and you never know who's going to walk through the door with talent, lots and lots of talent. What do you got going this week? You just home and cleaning?
I am working on essays. I have papers due. I have 3 papers due on Tuesday, so I'm writing.
All right. Well,
and Lysoling.
I don't even like Lysol.
I don't either.
I haven't used Lysol my whole life, but I actually started using
under these circumstances
this purification oil.
Yep.
I carry this and I carry my Valor. So, I'm big. I put the oregano oil on my feet every night. The time our whole house, Craig said, what stinks? But it's oregano. He goes, I smell oregano. But it's really
Pizza
good.
Parlor
It's a good option. So stay safe. Stay 6 feet away. Ryan's working on a really amazing art exhibit. I cannot wait. You have to see.
Awesome.
It's all in his head. I listened to Temple Grandin this week. Hey, guys, if you haven't gone on YouTube, check out Temple Grandin. She's an amazing woman that is brilliant. She's on the spectrum. She has a funny little way she talks about autism and being on the spectrum, but she's a brilliant, brilliant woman. And check her out on YouTube while you're home and learn more about your brain because it is Brain Injury Awareness Month, this month of March. But we thank you for listening. We thank our listeners for always calling in, and we have great guests, so thank you to our guests. We had Theresa Mueller today, and Paula, our listener, won a pair of socks.
Yay!
So always remember, keep horsing around. It just makes sense.